There it is. There it is, man. There it is. What's going on, bro?
Crazy, right? Crazy. Listen, I don't even know what I'm talking about. That's the thing. That's the thing. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'll tell you right here. TTH 240, man. TTH 240. Now the 40 is very highlighted. Hold on, man. Let's do like this. Let's get it all situated right here. Let's get it all highlighted, man. Let's even it out for this one.
You know, TTH 240, the Truancy Hour 240. This is the 240th episode of the Truancy Hour, but most importantly, the 40th for the University Mindset. Now, that's not a real whiteboard. That's one of those things that hold on to the big old, you clip the giant notepad on there and you flip this stuff over. So I'm gonna have to clean that up, all right? And I've been cleaning it up as I went the whole day. This is the 4th recording of the day. 6th of the weekend since yesterday. Yesterday was Friday, so I count Friday as a weekend because I don't work Fridays. I'm gonna keep it that way. As much as I can, I'm trying to keep it that way, all right? Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like I did this for, let me do the math. 235, maybe at 235 I did a bit of a banter. I'll probably do the similar thing. But this is TTH 240, all right? The Truancy Hour 240, the 4th one of the day. Energy is dwindling down. Your boy's fighting a cold right now. We have a different type of setup than usual. I'm sitting here a little more intimately with the camera and I have things propped up a certain way at a closer distance because I ran out the house. The bus said 0 minutes, which usually means 1 minute. So I ran out the house, ran across the street, and I left the microphone just by the bed. I was like, I tapped my pocket and I was like, I tapped the pouch on my bag and I was like, yeah, I didn't bring it. It's over. But I don't want to not go grab my coffee, and I didn't want to I didn't want to like go all the way back home and then do the process again. The buses were running like every 15 minutes. And I was like, do I want to deal with that right now? I don't know if I want to deal with that right now. And then when it was time for me to get off the bus to transfer to another one to possibly make it home in time, by then the bus going back the other way was already coming. And I was like, then I'm going to have to sit there for 15 minutes, go back home, wait another 15 to, get across. And I got to transfer buses just to get here to the university campus or the college campus, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So here we are. All right, here we are. The Truancy here at 240. All right. Again, I've been doing it all day. I'm actually kind of at a brain fart because of all the sickness, and I've never actually stayed here for, I don't think I've stayed here for this long. But yeah, maybe I'll just concentrate more so on the university mindset aspect of it, you know what I mean? Maybe I'll just kind of speak about that. I mean, if anything, this will be another variety pack. We're gonna just kind of like talk and banter a bit. For a good 35 at the most. We'll keep it at that. I've been sitting there dwindling 5 minutes at a time with each video, just being mindful of my health. I decided like the best way to do these this weekend is probably just power through, project as much as possible because I'm missing the mic. So that's gonna help out a little bit. But then at the same time, kind of just, just talk it out, man. Just hash it out, see where that takes me. The university mindset, man, speaking about it every weekend. And for those that don't know, this is being recorded on the 10th of January, but on the the weekend of, so Christmas was like Wednesday. Christmas was like Wednesday? No, Christmas is Thursday. Christmas, I believe, was on a Thursday, if I'm doing the math right. Yeah. And that weekend, I ended up not working for whatever reason. I can't remember what happened. I think it was just the tournament. So, yeah. But let me get into that in a second. Everything leading up to this point, I guess. University mindset. Sometimes you have access to these university spaces and places like right here. The way I am right here. And for me, I get a level of peace, quiet, and wisdom here. That's just me. I get a level of peace, quiet, and wisdom. Some they get what they some here are here for studies, some here are kind of get peace and quiet. But it's the weekend, so it's less busy, and these conference rooms and these study rooms are available. They're up for grabs. They're available, and I check the schedule every time on the board outside the door just to see that there's anyone, if they have a reservation, like a time reservation. If they do, I just go home. I'm like, you know what? I might sit in the corner and do a little bit of gaming, but I'm just gonna go home because I could just do the same shit at the house. But it was good to get out the house and travel. So that's usually what it is for me. But again, like I say, get access to the university spaces and places like such, like so. And when you have access to this, you can you can spend your days getting a level of peace, quiet, and wisdom, and more importantly, the wisdom that you're acquiring here. I speak for myself as I'm attaining it here and just being here peacefully. I'm able to kind of just impart that same knowledge and wisdom into a form of conversation, if not a form of a podcast episode like such. And it's one thing to selfishly internalize it and sit there and mess around with it and create some notes on my phone and then transferring the notes to the notepad, and that's important to me too. But I will say, like, actually, I have a note I can touch base on, but I probably shouldn't. That's okay, I don't need to touch base on it. But while I'm here, I would take a couple of notes to myself, just a couple of revelations I had within my personal life. And I sat there and I decided, like, you know what, man, I'm going to impart that same wisdom to some degree. Like, I would take little notes on it. I was like, maybe this is something I should talk about in a future video. At some point, I stopped saying future video, and I was like, wait, why not make the videos now? I started just making the videos, like you see now. And then at the same time, I started recording them and just putting them out there, obviously. Didn't care how they were received, but I knew that they would exist forever as long as the page exists. Point I was making here. Anyway, give me a second, hold on. I had a brain fart. Decided I would just share and impart the same wisdom that I have here, A lot of this Truancy Hour stuff started with the audio version. I say this all the time. When I did the audio version, I kind of just did that by myself. I'd walk around the city, or I'd post up somewhere in the city and just talk to myself. Sometimes I'd even be drunk and high, just on the phone talking to myself and just recording that. And I'd put that energy and put that recording out there. I didn't care how anyone felt. And I had a couple friends who probably reflected on it and laughed at it a few times. And even a couple friends that even texted me back and I was like, man, I peeped that episode. That was dope. That was cool. And I just thought the shit was interesting, And at some point I stopped. I just kind of lost the whatever for it. And, later on I picked it up again when I was towards the last few months of my job before I decided to quit. And I was doing it a whole lot during the time I was jobless because I just made it my job. And then here I am deciding it was cold outside. Let's not live stream outside anymore like we usually do. Because I live stream outside because, the connection at the house is terrible. It's trash. So I like leaving the house and getting better reception and better connectivity from my phone when I leave. Anywhere I go outside of my house is way better. My house the whole block is so gentrified and it's at the bottom of the hill that we just get the worst signal. And maybe it's because I have AT&T that the connection is trash. I don't know, but I've been told just down there. But anyway, here we are. Fast forward. We're in the 200 sections of the Truancy Hour, at least on YouTube. I got pretty far. Well, I think I got to the hundreds in the audio version, but I'd rather restart and do it legit here where you can actually see and hear me at the same time. That is, just kind of making it official. But the university mindset is here, in the 200 sections from 201 up until 240 right now. And it's going to continue going until pretty much I say stop. So all these notes that I would take for myself, I just said stop saying you're going to do it later and let's do it now. Because you're going to keep looking at these notes and remind yourself that you didn't do anything. And I make sure to delete the notes as I go. Because I'll sit there, I'll take the note, whether it's from the past or present, I'll sit there, I'll formulate it, and then sometimes I'll keep it verbatim and I'll rewrite it on the notepad, and then I'll try to expound on it per episode. So that's how it's been more so, but sometimes with some of these notes, they came from all the way 2023 or 2022 during the time my mom passed, or right after she passed. That was when I was still kind of recording it. So the Truancy Hour here in this university mindset section that we have happening right here, right now, a lot of it is just like Let's be a little more concise, man. Let's stop being outside. It's colder outside. You have access to the university space and the university place and all that stuff. So let's utilize that. And this is what it looks like right here. You know, a lot of people don't have this. A lot of people don't have access to this university space. They don't have access to these university places. They don't have access to these conference rooms, these study rooms, you know, these places that provide, like I get for me, the peace, the quiet, and the wisdom. And that's why I wanted to share that with people who may or may not have it. Because you might live in a bumfuck city. You know what I'm saying? You might be living in some place that nobody knows about. It's not really a college town. It's just out the way and nobody knows what it's about. And you're just at the house viewing this. You might just be laying in bed. This shit might have hit your algorithm. I don't know. Not that I care or not, but at the same time, hopefully, like I said, I lead with my best foot forward. My best foot forward being a positivity. So I'm leading with positivity. Hopefully it reaches who it needs to, and hopefully it inspires who it needs to, and hopefully it makes sense and it translates to you in the best way possible. So hopefully it's reaching who it needs to. Hopefully this stands the test of time. Who knows? And I say this all the time, man. Tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, even a decade from now, I might not even agree with the things that are being said right here, but nonetheless, I decided to just be vulnerable and more so in the moment and honest in the moment. This is who I am and this is how I speak. This is where I'm at right now, currently, in this time period. And let's just document that and let's make it happen. So the Truancy, I was a little bit of everything going on. It's more than two birds being killed with one stone. It's a flock getting smacked by a boulder, man. That's what this is all about for me, bro. It's really about that, all right? And I want to impart this wisdom and hopefully inspire people to do something of themselves. You know, some people they talk about cooking a lot and they want to talk about what it is they're cooking. And some people don't want to hear that shit, even their closest relatives and friends. But you put that on the internet, you'd be surprised who wants to hear it, man. That's the very surprising thing about you know, social media, if not the internet world, is like you're able to just put yourself out there and you'll find people who have more love for you online than people close by, like literally face to face to you. You know what I'm saying? When you have actual access to people don't really fuck with you like that. It's like that sometimes, man. I think about a lot of the people that I message and stuff like that, and they don't respond to me, so I just be saying fuck them when I see them, really. You know what I'm saying? I don't be dapping nobody up, man. I'm gonna get to that point, man, where I'm like, hey, man, didn't I message you at a concern and whatnot? I ain't gonna say what's up to people no more, bro. There's certain people I ain't gonna say what's up to. I'm like, hey, bro, I was just messaging you. Last time I reached out to you, I just want to see what's up. What's up with you, man? And then if they don't answer that, I'm not even gonna dap them up, bro. I'm like, yep, you want some bullshit? I got you. I'm gonna just start calling people out on their bullshit. I swear to God, on my life, I'm gonna start calling people out on their bullshit. When I see them, and a lot of them motherfuckers in the Beyblade scene, y'all know who you are. I can't wait to see you motherfuckers, so I can tell you to your face, bruh. Shit. I'll tell you like this, man. I say it, bruh. University mindset. You know, all that in a nutshell, right? Access to these university spaces and places, like such, you know, as you see right now. You see me where I'm at. For me, again, I'm gonna keep repeating this. I get a level of peace, quiet, wisdom. I want to impart that here. And part of what that is, with that level of peace, quiet, and wisdom, a lot of it, man, what I dub the university mindset, is just simply having a level of love and a respect for yourself. It doesn't matter how high or low it is, as long as you start accessing it. And I want people to start accessing it. You understand? I need people to access that. We're gonna concentrate on that today. Maybe that's what we'll do, because I'm looking at the time here. I really just want to concentrate on that. I want to be able to slow down my talking the whole day and just focus on that. And let's focus on it. Let's talk about it. Because every individual here, man, that sees this video or just tunes in at any point, you understand the degrees of things in your life that you have withstood, handled, and survived up to this point. You understand that. You understand the level of things, a degree of things that you have withstood, handled, survived. You also understand a certain threshold, another level, another degree of things that you will no longer tolerate. You understand? You draw the line somewhere. Think about that. There's a level of things that, based off of the things you've handled, survived, and withstood, you no longer tolerate some other shit. You're like, the buck stops there, the bullshit stops right there. You know it better than anyone else, because you've lived your life from your point of view, your soul's observation, and within your body. You've experienced it. And you've seen it yourself. We're not talking about some shit that you've seen on the internet and then you just sat there and kind of just internalized the feeling from it. No, we're talking about the stuff you've lived through. You know it. And therefore, you can simply just start certifying yourself as a simple human being. Start certifying your soul's existence. Start certifying your human existence. Because the moment that you started drawing the line with certain things, it's one thing to recognize it. It's one thing to recognize the things that you survived, withstood, and handled. It's another thing to sit there and start drawing the line so that you can no longer have to withstand or go through that again, survive that again, deal with that again. You draw the line, you stop, and you make sure you're not going through that again. That's a form of self-love and self-respect, whether you know it or not. You understand? Sometimes it comes out in the worst way. Sometimes your ego rises up. You don't have to have ego and fall, but sometimes it rises up to defend. Your ego will sit there sometimes, your own personal ego, because it's yours, correct? It'll defend the love and respect that you have for yourself. It'll even protect that. You understand? It will protect that part of you. It'll protect that portion of you. Whether you know it or not, it'll protect that piece of you. So the fact that you know that, that is the, how do we explain this? That is the wall, the ego itself being the wall, if not the second in line to defend before it gets to the core. You can get past your ego and just go straight to the core. You understand? You can lead with the core. You don't even have to build the fence. It's just like the synonym for the ego sometimes. It really is just like the dog. It's the dog that's at the gate. It's at the fence. It's behind the door. It's defending the house, barking and making the noises, letting you know, don't come in here. We're going to fuck you up. The ego is that dog that's like, you come in here, I'm defending the last ounce of self-love and respect that's left here, but I will fuck you up if you try to touch that. But you can go straight to the core. You can, you are who you are. You're the master of your own house. You are the master of your own house, your own body, the soul that observes within your body. Once you start certifying your soul a little more, the existence of it, certifying your human being existence, you could just walk past the dog because the dog loves you anyway. You just walk past the dog and go straight to the core of the love and respect and just be like, let me cultivate that and let me level that up. Let me build the muscle of that. So that way the dog doesn't have to do more work than I do. You understand? The dog doesn't have to do more work than the muscle of love, the pause, and the muscle of respect. You understand what I'm saying? So hopefully what I'm saying makes sense and translates. When I say university mindset, you don't have to go to universities, colleges, community colleges, vocational institutes, technical colleges, art schools, schools of the arts, right? Culinary schools. You don't have to go to those places to sit there and validate your skills and existence. Yeah, you might. Yeah, we're gonna need you to do that to be a certified surgeon. We don't want just someone walking around saying that they're a surgeon. We need people who are actually certified and actually have the credentials, the degrees, certifications, and things like that. We need that, sure. What I'm saying is your existence, you as a human being, someone who deserves to be loved and respected. Someone who deserves to be loved and respected has to begin loving and respecting themselves. Very simple. You understand? Very simple. And it's easier said than done. So that's my whole point with this university mindset is like, you don't have to have access to these spaces and places. You don't even have to go to those schools. You could simply just start loving yourself. You don't have to walk around egotistically pretend like you're better than someone else because you didn't go to school and you do love yourself. You don't have to do that. You didn't go to school and you do respect yourself for that. But you don't have to walk around putting that in people's faces. You don't have to do that necessarily. And again, it's less about, sometimes it's more about how you're saying it and less about how they're receiving it. So just be mindful of how you say some shit. That's another thing too. When you're being mindful of how you say shit to other people, get back to the core. Be mindful of how you speak to yourself. Are you speaking to yourself in a loving way? Are you speaking to yourself in a respectful way? My whole point with this university mindset is I'm tired of people validating their existence based off of a grading system, if not a value system that is not of their own or their own culture. You're sitting there judging yourself based off the fact that you don't have this certification or you don't have this degree. You understand? You don't have this level of wage or this amount of money per year. These numbers and all these value systems and these things that you put your time into that you can get, that you get something out of, obviously, that stuff has nothing to do with who you are. There's nothing wrong with chasing your dreams, man. People who want to be surgeons. People again, I went to school for central service technician, sterile processing. I got the certification, 3 months at the school, 3 months, doing the hours. So I did, that's 2 quarters. That's 2 quarters. I did that to get the higher wage, but I never lost sight of who I was in the process of doing that. Because when I was doing that, and after I got the certification, after I passed the test, after I got hired, I was still the type of person that caught the bus, and I would give up my seat to someone who needed it. And a lot of times I sat in the back corner, so no one wants to go to that seat anyway. No one wants to come to the back, but if I just see someone stand up like, hey, I'm about to get off, man, you want this seat? Go ahead. I would just let people know. And I never stopped being that person. That was like back in 2018. I'm still the same person now. I'll still do that where I'm like, if the bus is full, hey, you want the seat, bro, you got it. I'm good. I'm getting off here anyway. You understand? People do that stuff on an everyday scale. They'll do it sitting at the front of the bus and they'll give up their seat to an older lady, if not a handicapped person. And my thing is like, you can't lose sight of who you are because of that. You understand? People will start getting new wages, new cars, getting new things that start to validate themselves and validate their living experience or who they are. And then you'll start recognizing that they stop being that nice person. It's like, I guess they never were that person. And then they're gonna have to go through some life-changing shit, or somebody has to humble them in order for them to re-evaluate that core. Like, who the fuck was I, man? Who was that? Ah, man, you know what I mean? Like, people have to do that. So just remember, just stay being who you are. Stay loving who you are in this moment. Don't lose sight of this person. That person is going to elevate. And the goodness, all the goodness and all the great things about that person can keep climbing too with the next person that's become the next certified person that's being. You understand? Keep going to school. I'm not trying to knock anyone going to school for being certified or getting degrees. You should do that. My point is just this. Don't think that that defines you. It doesn't define you. There's a lot more to you. There's a lot more to you that got you to that point, that's driving you through it and getting you past it and getting to the other side of it. And that's another thing too, is like a lot of people are very well accomplished, but if you're not dead, the story's not over. There's still so much more good things to do. There's so much good things to do for yourself as well. So much good things to re-explore for yourself, re-examine. You understand? A lot of us are just missing that as a culture, as a people, just even as individuals, you know? It starts with yourself all the time, right? I mean, you think about the core of certain individuals. I mean, it's like people who really love Bob Marley, there are literal communities that rally behind a Bob Marley. Whether he passed or the movie came out, or there's like a day like, hey, the album dropped on this specific day, we're all gonna celebrate that album this day, or just his music, his life that day. You understand? An individual can sit there and spark a whole community. And he led with positivity. You can look into the ins and outs. You can sit there and try to be like, oh, but he treated his family this way, his wife that way. You could do all the buts, if, ands, and maybes. But nonetheless, the man led with positivity. And there was like more positivity than there was negativity, correct? That's everyone's life. Well, for the most part. But a lot of times we focus on that small sliver of bad shit and negativity. And it has nothing to do with the continuous progress, if not the transformation of who you are. So you yourself shouldn't focus on the negative things that you've been through. You understand? That's the whole point of this, man. That's my whole spiel with university mindset. I want to make that clear right here. A lot of me is really just, you know, bantering about it because I actually forgot to review the note on my phone in order to transfer the note. Boom, to the notepad. But I will probably, like, in this moment, just make some shit up right here. Let's do it, man. University mindset, man. I want people to tap into it a little more. I'm going to speak about it. I try to keep it brief each time at the beginning of the videos, but at the same time, you know, we're just kind of flowing here at this point. You know, this is like the last thing of the day. I try to do about 2 to 3 on these weekends, but, you know, yesterday, I was able to do 2 of them on limited time, but I made it happen. And yeah, here I am. I'm going to do these 4 today. You know, I'm trying to do a month's worth of, because these are coming out weekly, a month's worth of a month. Am I saying that right? A month's worth of content every weekend. You know, so that's like four videos plus every weekend, bro. That's what we're trying to do. There it is, man. TTH 240. I'm gonna have to, like I said, bro, it's not a real whiteboard. I'm gonna have to clean that joint up. That's funny as hell. So I'm gonna be like, who the fuck wrote up on this? I'm like, bro, go scan the fingerprints, man. It was me, my bad. We got the plastic duck simulator up in the background. I don't know what's going on. Matter of fact, let me save the game before I forget. Oh, I do this, bruh. Is it escape? Let me just save the game. All right, I'm just saving the game in the background. I just want to see how many ducks. Yeah, we got 180 ducks up in here. We got 180 ducks up in here. All right, Now that we got that situated and out the way, this is the way I multitask, man. And like people don't know, it's getting close to 9 o'clock or 8. It's getting closer to 8 than it is 9. Tell you, man, go home, eat my dinner, right? Get back on this Octopath Traveler. Put them hours in. Do it again. You understand? This is what it's all about, man. Let me talk about that. I said this last time, man. Let me pull out the note. This Cinco Bain thing, man. It's just it's a library of knowledge and experiences. You know, I left on that note for 236, I believe. 236. I left it on that note because we're talking about utilizing time. This is something for people to view and enjoy. The Placid Plastic Duck Simulator that I'm running in the background. But more importantly, all the other games that I experience, it's like, you gotta understand, because I do a lot of RPGs in the sense of like turn-based RPGs. When I play those games, and even the way I play Silksong, like Hollow Knight Silksong, those are all interpretations of my character as, or the way I would operate as that character, with those devices or those abilities. Also, there's a bit of nature and behavior to the way I am being interpreted in the game. All that stuff is documented, but it's just for people's pleasure. You know, it's also for people who can't leave the house or just they're bedridden. You know, some people can't really do anything. They'll come across stuff. Who knows? But a lot of this is just really a library of experiences and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And that's all it really is. You know, whether the knowledge is received well or not, it's a work in progress. Everything's a work in progress, right? A lot of this, man, I want people to do the same too. Like, really think about what it is in your life that, because like when you see me do like the Beyblade vlogs and stuff like that, I do a lot of it vertical. A lot of people don't like watching vertical shit unless it's like a YouTube short or like it's reels or something. And my thing is like, I don't care. I think most people are laying down and looking at stuff like that anyway. So it encourages people to look full screen. You know what I mean? So for people to be fully immersed within the vlog and not the video, you would have to have it up anyway. And I leave it for that reason. I mean, I'm actually slowly going back to horizontal right now. So maybe after University Mindset, I'm probably gonna run a couple horizontal. Well, actually, I might do it. We'll see. I might do it next week. You know, I prefer vertical for University Mindsets and the Truancy Hour, but I might just start doing a couple of horizontal stuff to see if people start tapping in or not. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not really pressed about it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of where I'm at. But yeah, man, let me do this right here. So I just put Univ Mindset. And then we'll do let me just write that for now. And then we'll put that away. Also, we got the old schedule right there too, which is funny. It might be the recent schedule. It depends what I end up doing. Because I actually still need to record these Beyblade videos at the house. That's gonna take that's a lot of matches. That's gonna take some time, guys. That's gonna take some time. That's gonna take a lot of time. And my whole phone is running out of data right now just recording this video, and that's fine. I really asked myself, I was like, why? You know, it all started, for those that are looking for a reason or just inspiration or whatever, and just also trying to understand this channel here. I never wanted to show my face. It sounds funny. I started off doing the Pokemon card packs. I was like, I'm gonna open one per day. Some of them I had to pre-record because I was either going out of town or I would have a busy work schedule. And I was like, well, I have a whole complete booster box. Let's record multiple ones throughout the morning, if not night, so that way we can just get them up there. Get them up there, uploaded, and just keep them on schedule so then we can just be ahead of schedule and keep going. And then living our life on the side. And that's what these are too. Putting stuff out into the future. Being present right now, keep leading with positivity, putting that out into the future. And, you know, positivity don't sell. Negative shit be selling. That gets the views there, man. But, you know, I want the whole channel to be a testament of like, this is just who I am and this is just me locked in on this. I have my sense of comedy, you know what I mean? My most viral live stream moment was speaking on behalf of the Alex Tarshoon stuff. Alex Tarshoon was someone who was on Kill Tony, and he had a channel up that got taken down in an instant, where I was like, honestly, man, you could have taken away the videos. They should have just taken away the videos, but kept his channel going because his channel blew up. He started getting subscribers. See, the thing is, at the time period, I was trying to get to 1,000 subs. I was trying to get to 1,000 subs and a certain amount of views. Because of what he went through during that viral night of Kill Tony, when everyone looked up his content, he pretty much blew up and pretty much would have got monetized that night. My thing was like, he deserved that. He deserved that. Just take the content down, but just give him his monetization. But they wanted nothing to do with him. They got rid of his stuff. And if you guys, look that up on Reddit. Reddit has a little bit of everything. Look up Alex Tarshoon. You'll know what I'm talking about. That was our most viral live streaming moment. In terms of shorts, I think my most viral short would have been shout out to Hidden Coyotes. Probably Hidden Coyote versus it was probably Night Wolf or something like that. Some metal Beyblade type of stuff. I think that's what it was. I could be wrong. Shout out to Hidden Coyote. That's a decent friend of mine. Like, I would just see them at random events and I would keep in touch with them, and they're just not around the scene anymore, but I hope they come back around. I wish them the best. They've been going through a lot of stuff, and yeah, it's really interesting, man. It's like, that's my most viral short. It's one of the most viral shorts I have. The videos, I actually don't. Oh, it's probably like Cam. It is what it is. Cam and Mace talking with O.J. Simpson. The point I'm making with all these is like, they have nothing to do with the Truancy Hour. They have nothing to do with these things. I would hope for one of these to finally get to that point. But these things, which consist of the majority of the content, like my interpretation of RPG, even documenting it, whether that be Pokemon or Dragon Quest, which is the majority of it, those things, man, these type of videos, like, they consist of the majority. It's really the bulk of what it is I do. It's just who I am. I want people to really think about the stuff that they do at their own downtime, whether it's just you recording a sound clip, like, I was recording a random video clip of Cam and Mace talking to O.J. Simpson because I thought it was funny. I was like, well, fuck it, why not post it on the channel? And then it brings people in. I recorded people doing the Beyblade stuff. It happened to be one of the most biggest moments for some reason. I started bringing people in. I decided to speak about, on a Tuesday morning, speaking about Alex Tarshoon's debut on Kill Tony the night before. I was just speaking about, me and my brother and dad having a family moment at the house, watching comedy together, watching Kill Tony together. That's what we do on Monday nights. That's what we used to do on Monday nights. And I just wanted to speak about it, and it just happened. So that's the point I'm making, is like, I just wanted to speak about certain things. I wanted to do certain things. I wanted to attend certain things. I wanted to screen record and document certain things. And then you just never know what'll happen. But these are all different versions of yourself. You don't have to do intimate moments. Like, I have a video on my phone of being at my niece's birthday party. Why would I post that shit? That's some sacred family shit to me personally. You don't have to post everything. But it's just like, these are my interests. These are the things I'm into. And be surprised where the channel takes you. You'd be surprised where people ask you, like, can I learn more about this from you? Can you show us more about this thing about you? If not, can you show us more about this stuff? Some people are like collectors. Show your collection off. So that's my thing with this stuff, We tapped into university mindset earlier. I wanted people to just kind of recenter themselves and love themselves a little more. But I encourage more people to just think about, like, your channel doesn't have to be anything. I mean, it's nice to be subscribed to channels that are very consistent and concise. Like, this is just an advice channel. This is just a content channel. This is just like an ASMR channel. This is like a Beyblading channel. This is like someone skateboarding. My friends, shout out to Z Crew. He just be skateboarding and shit on. Yeah, I subscribe to 2 of his channels. So it's nice to watch very concise stuff, but like, nothing's stopping you from just doing shit, and you should just do things. And everyone has a phone which has a camera. Everyone has a phone which has a camera and a microphone. Camera, microphone, and has the internet. All the resources are there, and you can utilize it. I'm not even monetized, but I got over 1,000 subs. So again, it's less about the numbers and it's less about the value of the numbers, because it's like, it's funny, I'll have 1,000 subs and there's only one person in the live chat. It's like that sometimes, you understand? It's the value. But just value yourself and keep doing it. You know what I mean? I just want people to keep doing it, man. The channel is whatever it needs to be. It's on some Jeet Kune Do shit. My channel's on some Jeet Kune Do shit. Whatever it needs to be is what it'll be today. You understand? Listen, man, I'm gonna leave it at that. We're running short on time. This is running short on time right here. Yeah, we'll leave it right there, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace. I'm out.